something I've wanted to do for a while is listen to some of your guys' music and give some feedback on it, give a bit of a review on it. And loads of you submitted songs for me to listen to, so I could only listen to a small selection. But let's dive in here. It's called Bee's Knees. Nice. Got a bit of Rhodes keyboard.
Bee's Knees, you think you're the shit, but look at all the things you missed. Cats, pajamas, and I wish it hadn't had to come to this. To this.
Nice.
I'm
Those vocal harmonies sound really nice. Almost reminiscent of like a Red Hot Chili Peppers harmony. That sounded really good. I think in places it reminded me of Charlie Puth, who is one of my favourite sort of pop musicians. My only criticism is that all of the good bits came in the second half of the song. I feel like a casual listener wouldn't get past the intro because, you know, that Rhodes keyboard bit is a little bit boring, and there's not much going on. And then, you know, the vocal harmonies, they're really interesting, but it's when the greater arrangement comes in that the song suddenly starts to come to life. So I would suggest either bringing that stuff forward in the song, or maybe just shortening the song, or just sort of getting to the good stuff a bit earlier to catch people's attention. Especially in a sort of pop music style, you really want to grab people from the beginning. But yeah, great track. Okay, our next song comes from Tiffany Wong.
Sunshine in the rain shines with the same light as your eyes. The warmth of your skin brushes through my hair like the wind. I begin to fall back to where we used to be. You're right.
Love that major 2 chord.
Just breathe. Remember the love we used to have. You said that it would last. Now I'm falling back to sleep in the dreams you made.
Yeah, that was great. I think what I loved the most was that for the chorus, we got that major 2 chord. Which, if you don't know what I mean by that, it's the major version of the second chord of the key, which is not actually in the key. It's not diatonic, which to me gives it a very bold, bright flavour that really sort of sticks out. And that's great because it gives the chorus a sense of character and distinction from the verse section. So that's really nice. Gives it a sense of uplift. I think the only thing I would suggest is dynamics, developing the dynamic difference between the verse and the chorus a bit more. A good way to do that would be perhaps in the chorus on the piano to maybe introduce some sort of arpeggio figure rather than sticking with the sort of quarter note sort of bog standard thing. I appreciate, though, of course, that can be hard when you're singing, and maybe, you know, this is just a piano version. Maybe you're imagining more instrumentation later down the line, but really nice. Not too long as well. You know, I think maybe you could afford to trim 30 seconds off of this song's duration, but generally speaking, it's a good duration. I think people often have a tendency to write songs that are too long, so this is a good, healthy duration for a song. So yeah, great work. All right, next is Michel Marcel, and his song is called One Rather Otherwise. Charming album art there as well. really love that rhythm on that guitar.
In the remains of a point of stone.
It's got a very spooky vibe to it. I like it. Almost feels like you could imagine it in a Rick and Morty episode or something. Cool. Definitely some great ideas in there. Great sounds. It's funny that the song before I was saying how it was a good duration, maybe getting a little bit too long. This one I think is a great example of a song that is just a bit too long. It hasn't really earned that duration of 6 minutes. There's no problem with a song being 6 minutes, but it has to have a reason to be that long. And with this song, it's not like we really get anything new in the second half of the song. Everything in the second half we've pretty much already heard in the first half. So I think the thing is, you've got some great ideas here. You just need to be a bit more picky, a bit more strict with yourself, and keep things a bit more concise, and it will be a much sort of more impactful song that doesn't wind up getting boring near the end. But like I said, I really do like it, and I think you've got some great ideas there, so great job. Next we have Nikita Ustinov. I think I've probably said that wrong, but here we go. And the song is called Laser Cowboys. Quite a gallopy rhythm to it.
Laser cowboys dashing through the air.
Nice.
No dreaming's dying. Well, life's got dreams to spare. Spaceship gunfights, trails filled with gold.
Definitely got some cool ideas here. I feel like there might sometimes be too many ideas. I feel like I don't know if you're wearing headphones, but they've panned the two guitars left and right. And it almost feels like the reason they've done that is because otherwise it would just be too messy. Because the two guitar parts aren't always complementing each other.
To conquer, waiting to see those prison walls.
Quite Pink Floyd, isn't it?
I know there's nowhere to go when the moon drains down the final field. The bar will find me staring at the sky, watching laser cowboys leaving for the stars.
So this section here, this kind of bridge section, I think that was a much better mix of instruments and arrangement than the rest of it. Oh, that's the end of the song. Fair enough. I thought it had more. Interesting. So yeah, that kind of caught me off guard because I felt like that section was a bridge, and then we were then going to return to what we had before. In fact, what it was more like is just two separate songs. And in my opinion, the second song, the sort of second section that we had there at the end, was a much better song, a much better arrangement. The parts fit better, the atmosphere was better. The bit at the beginning was good, but it felt like there was too many ideas. It felt like there was at least two guitars going on, right? And one of the guitars needed to stop playing at times, particularly when the vocal was playing, because there was too much there. The lead guitar needed to get out of the way so the vocal could come through, particularly because the vocal is in a lower register, so it needs more space to cut through. Next song is from David Lloyd, and it's called Moving Forward. Major 7. Ventura Highways vibe so far.
Life's too short to be getting down. You've got a pick to come. That was then, this is now. Moving forward to the future. It's all that we can do.
So that vocal sounds very roomy. I feel like you need a better microphone and a deader room. Something you could do, you know, if you haven't got sound treatment in a room, is lay a load of blankets around, even put a blanket over your head. You could hear the room in the background. The mix is a little bit off as well. The guitars are very present, and the drums are like way back over there. Like we want everything to feel like it's in the same room, same space.
There's not a lot we can do to miss. This is how we've moved on. Moving forward.
See, one issue I have is when it goes into that breakdown bit, it feels like, oh cool, we're getting the chorus now. But we only get it for a couple bars and then we're back to the verse basically. It's like this, we're not really getting anything new there. So most of the song is just that 1 to 4 vamp with the same vocal melody. Okay, here we are, something different.
Moving forward, don't ever look back. Moving forward to the future. It's all that
I like the horns. Horns is a good choice.
Good luck in everything. Moving forward.
So I think this is another song suffering from being too long. I think you easily could have made this 3.5 minutes rather than almost 5 minutes. There's a reason why most songs are about the 3-minute mark. But yeah, that is cool though. It sounds cool. I think there's a lot of potential there. I think the main takeaway is that there's not really a chorus right now. You get the verse section, and that's cool. And then it goes into that slightly more broken down bit, and you're like, oh, here comes the chorus. But then it just goes back to the verse. And maybe you're considering that next section the chorus, but it's too similar to the verse. So it's basically just another verse. Right, our next one comes from Thomas Lambrecht, and it's just called Prelude. Nice use of chord there, like nice chromatic movement in the melody. So bittersweet. It feels like one long section right now. It doesn't feel like we've necessarily returned anywhere. And that's it. It's quite concise. So that's lovely. I think the two main things for me, the first one would be maybe sort of slow down a bit. Let it have a bit more rubato to it. Particularly at the end of a phrase. There's a moment in there where you sort of come to the end of a phrase and then you go back to the beginning of the melody again. It would have been nice to have a bit more of a pause there to sort of compartmentalize those two bits, because otherwise it starts sounding like one big section. And that's kind of my other point, is that because it doesn't necessarily return to the harmony we've had at any previous point. We never get a sort of recapitulation of anything. You don't really get a sense of section. It's almost, repetition is important in music, and of course you don't want the whole thing to be overly repetitive. A little bit of repetition gives it a sense of structure. So that would be my only criticism, really. But, a very pretty piece of music there. Very nice. Right, the next piece is by Alvaro Rubio, and it's called Many Mice and the Flower King. Atmospheric. So right now it sounds like we're in an enchanted forest, but also next to a motorway. My impression right now is that I want to hear more of that vocal. It's almost like the mix is back to front. The guitar and the sound effects are very prevalent, and the vocal is like over there somewhere. I want it on top. Nice sound. I like the double tracking. That's definitely adding to that nice sort of mysterious texture. Harmony is nice. I like it. It reminds me of Sufjan Stevens. Sort of weird. It's almost like fantasy and folk at the same time. Okay, something new is happening. This is quite a dramatic change. I like that. I like the vocals there. They're nice. This feels like the chorus that we've been waiting for, but it's taken almost, taken 3.5 minutes to get there. Okay, so now we've gone back to where we were at the beginning. Yeah, I think, going back to the point I made before, I think this is one of those examples, again, of a song that is just too long. There are some really great ideas in there. I really love the atmospheres and the spookiness. There's some great vocal melodies, some great vocal harmonies, and I love that other section that comes up later in, but this song is twice as long as it needs to be. Everything takes far too long to unfold. It's almost like that section in the middle you could treat as the chorus section. So we should be arriving there, around 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes in, not 3.5 minutes in. And then once it arrives, it lasts too long, and then it kind of gets boring. So, I think the thing is that it's very easy to become very self-indulgent when you're writing a song, when you're arranging your own song, because everyone loves their own music, don't they? But you've got to remember the perspective of the listener, and keep it short and sweet. Keep it quality over quantity. And that's the thing. There are some great quality moments in this piece of music, but it's diluted and it's too spread out. It almost feels like an improvised jam or improvised arrangement rather than a refined, thought through, concise arrangement. And the last track here is from Ham, and it's called Le Phreak. Oh no, it's called Donnie Disco. Le Phreak's the band.
I just wanna move like Donnie Disco, entering the scene feeling monumental. By any means necessary, he been told. Everybody wanna be influential, never on time, look at his wrist though. Damn near blind, could not resist those. Stuck in the streets now, look at him go. Can't afford a car, comes down with the benzo. Write his name in the conversation of the windows. Feel his energy on the sea is a rental. Messing with his faded like memento. Big 3-0 ain't the kind of gentle man who think of anybody else but himself. Rolling with a dream, don't need nothing else. We say the same things, but we mean something else. Donnie don't see, got a need for the rush. He's in love with the freedom, yeah. Everything he leaves in the club.
I was just thinking, okay, we need a chorus. We need to go somewhere else, and it happened just when I was anticipating it.
All the things that he leaves in the club, he can quit if he wants, got no reason to know. His dream don't mean nothing, huh? No. Man is lonely, man is free, man is tired. Didn't
Sounds good.
Never will, well he might.
Good choice here to have the guitar drop out. Good dynamic change there, just going down to the bass. I can't understate how important it is for instruments to dip in and out, because your ears just get tired of hearing them otherwise, and then dipping in and out just for a few bars refreshes your ear.
All the love and support gone now. He's so terrified to come down. There's always a disco and Donnie's in town. He's in love with the freedom, yeah.
Like the stop there before the chorus means that the chorus then has far more impact.
Donnie's whole dream don't mean nothing, huh? He's in love with the freedom, yeah. All the things that he leaves in the club, he can quit if he wants, got no reason to know. His dream don't mean nothing, huh?
Oh, I cannot be doing with that sound though. That just sounds like my alarm clock. And I know that's what they're going for, but that is just distressing.
Wake up, Donnie, Donnie, wake up. Wake up, Donnie, Donnie, wake up. Wake up.
He's in love with the freedom, yeah. Everything he leaves.
Yeah, it's a good chorus. I like it.
Got no reason to know. Donnie's whole dream don't mean nothing, huh? He's in love with the freedom, yeah. All the things that he leaves.
Nice, simple chorus, but like just easy, satisfying. Oh, nice bit of saxophone.
It's the life that you're living, yeah, yeah. It's better if you don't get involved. You're going right back to prison. No. Might wanna give it a second thought. It's the life that you live.
So yeah, I think that's got everything it needs to have. It's a nice arrangement. You've thought about the dynamic. It sort of dips in the right places. It comes back up again. Satisfying chorus. Not much more I can say about that. I think maybe the last 30 seconds could have done with something else added in. I know the sax came back in, but maybe one other element just to see us through to the end. But yeah, great arrangement, great song. So thanks again to everybody who put forward songs for this. There was loads and loads of submissions. So sorry that I couldn't get around and do more. But if you enjoyed this, if you liked it, let me know in the comments, and maybe we'll do it again. Thanks very much.